how about we just introduce ourselves as the advisory board?
Yeah, I can start. My name is Christopher Sowards, better known as CJ. I am the Sports and Recreations Club's liaison for the advisory board for student organizations.
I'm Sarah Judlowski. I am the, my camera does that sometimes. I'm the civic engagement liaison, overseeing like civic engagement, student organizations on campus.
I'm Josephine Degnan. I'm the culture, religion, and identity liaison this year.
I'm Aditi Gawande, and I'm the academic, professional, and graduate liaison.
And then Greg Carnesi is about to be joining us, and he is our health and wellness club liaison. And I am Tessie Bracken. I'm the coordinator for student organizations over at the MU on the Tempe campus. And I'm also the advisor for the advisory board for student organizations. Okay, so I know we were planning on doing breakout rooms to kick this off and just kind of break off into different sections for some like of these new and improved ASU resources. But since there's a small crowd, I think we're just going to keep it all into one room right now. We can all go around and talk about what we're going to chat about today. I believe I can start with the ASU app presentation, just kind of explaining how to use the ASU app to search for clubs on through Sun Devil Sync. We have those kind of integrated together now. We are still working out some of the kinks, but I just want to like at least show you all how you can use the app and like search for clubs and search for different events that are happening on campus too. And then we're going to have CJ give a presentation about event planning. And then Joey will give a quick presentation about some on-campus opportunities that are available on campus and virtual. It's a new project that we just launched this semester that gives students like a chance to actually go out and explore the university, especially for new students who haven't really had the chance to participate in signature events yet this year since things have been very abnormal. And then Aditi and Sarah will go into just some of the basics of the advisory board and how to get involved and get in contact with us if you ever just want to chat about things or how to get involved. So I think Greg just said he'll be here in another 5 minutes. So I'm just going to launch right into this ASU app presentation. I don't plan for it to take super long. Like people are pretty tech savvy, but so let me just share my screen. And I will present this. So I'm sure Madeline, sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
It's Madeline.
Madeline, okay.
Yes.
I'm sure you already have the ASU app downloaded on your phone. I'm pretty sure everyone on the board already has it, but Ali, if you want to go to the ASU, oh my gosh, the App Store on your phone, you could find.
Yeah, I have it already.
You do?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so that's just what we're going to be talking about today. The ASU mobile app, like I mentioned already, just this semester, we've now integrated Sun Devil Sync into that. And Sun Devil Sync is our club and organization involvement software that we have at ASU. So if you ever are looking for clubs to join or events to attend on campus, that's your like one-stop shop for that. And now the ASU app, you're able to log into there and search for clubs and organizations as well, and contact them. But like I mentioned, like it's new. So if there are any kinks or like if there's ever like a time where you do like try to request to get in contact with a club and you're not able to actually like get a hold of someone or they don't respond to you, I'll put my chat or my email in the chat for you all to just let me know and I can help like navigate that as well. So on the ASU app, if you have that open, that's usually where you go to submit your health check and that type of stuff. I know, so students are honestly in the app every single day because it's probably the easiest place to go to submit your health check. In the top left corner, there is a little hamburger menu called the Details tab. And that's where like a lot of the different resources will live for these purposes. You can also go there whenever like athletics are back and you can go attend those types of events. That's where you would go to like request your tickets and stuff for sporting events or like free concerts on campus if they're using it through Ticketmaster. So that's the details tab, but when you're in there and you select that details tab, this is what it will end up looking like. As you can see, there's a little arrow that points to the clubs tab. You just select that, and on the right of the screen right now, that's what it will look like. You can type in different clubs that you want to search for. You can also like navigate to the different tabs to look at club events or just public events. Typically, if you're going to the My Club Events tab, they'll only events that for the organizations that you are currently involved in will show up there, or events that you've RSVP'd to will show up there as well. So just make sure, like, if you are involved in an organization, like, and you aren't aware that there are clubs happening, make sure you kind of check that stuff frequently. It's just really good to keep involved with what your club is doing, and just understand that like clubs are participating in a lot of events and they are planning things right now despite the circumstances. So then if you're searching for events and clubs, I know I kind of mentioned you can navigate between the different tabs at the top, but you can also search by different campus. So Ali, I'm not sure, do you know what campus you'll be on whenever you do?
Phoenix campus, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you can search that way, like by just selecting, I think you said downtown Phoenix, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, perfect. So you can select that.
Watts College.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. So you can search downtown, and downtown, like it's a bit smaller scale than the Tempe campus. All the other campus locations are a little bit smaller. So like it might be a little bit more personal to go on and search by the different campuses, because there is a smaller number, and those student organizations are definitely looking for students on those campuses specifically to join their clubs. So something that I've learned in my experience, if you are looking to get involved with the club on any campus other than the Tempe location, they're a lot more quick and eager to respond to involvement requests. So like, even though you're not on campus yet, you are like able to log into your Sun Devil Sync portal and use the ASU app to do this. So I would highly encourage you to start reaching out now to get involved. And I'm really impressed that you were able to find this event today, despite not being on any of our email lists or something like that. So I'll probably ask you at the end of this, like how you heard about this. But then you can also search by club category. I know we all mentioned at the beginning of this call that like Aditi, Joey, Sarah, CJ, and Greg are all liaisons to different club categories. We do have like more wide ranging club categories than just the 6 that this advisory board oversees, but they're just kind of like all encompassing for them to be liaisons directly to those different club categories. But on here, like you can search by some colleges. We have like Barrett as a category in here too. Cora is the Council of Religious Advisors. So if you're looking for religious related organizations, that's where you'd go for that as well. And the list is like about 30-ish. So if you're like looking for very specific club categories, you can do that here. And also just something I'll mention, I'm not totally sure if on the app you can search by keyword for club categories, but if you do go to Sun Devil Sync, which is that platform, that involvement platform that I mentioned, you can type in keywords into the search bar and organizations will pop up. So the example I usually use for Sun Devil Sync is like, for some reason I get asked about anime clubs pretty frequently. If anime is listed in the club title or in the club description at all, it'll pop up as an option for you. So definitely take advantage of that. And if you haven't heard of Sun Devil Sync yet, which seems like you're doing your research, so you probably do know about it, I'll pop the link in the chat whenever I'm done talking and everyone else is speaking, just so you can go browse that there as well. And then also on this page, like I mentioned, you can search by your club events. So if you've RSVP'd or anything like that, they'll all show up here. If you go into the actual event, like for example, today, like if you had RSVP'd to this one, it would have popped up there, and then you would have the Zoom link right there on the ASU app. So then you don't have to worry about like going all over the place to try to find the link to get on here. And then also over in public events, that's just where every single event that's listed on Sun Devil Sync will also go into the app. And then lastly, just showing an example of what it looks like to actually click into a club. So like I said, over here on the right, like you can just search by clubs. If you are involved in clubs, you can also search and just go right to your club page by clicking My Clubs. But once you're in there, it'll give you two options to join the club or contact the club, and then it'll give you a description. It'll probably list their events under that page as well. So don't hesitate to use this, but like I said, and I'm gonna keep, like it's gonna sound like I'm beating a dead horse right now. Like if you're having issues getting in contact with clubs, if there's a chance that they might not be getting this request yet because we are still working out some of the kinks. Like I know I've been going back and forth with the University Tech office a lot, trying to get this kind of stuff figured out. So I'm gonna pop my email in the chat right now. Oh, thank you, Aditi. You were way ahead of me with the Sun Devil Sync link. But I'm popping my email in the chat right now. Again, my name's Tessie Bracken. And I do a lot of the technology related stuff for the student organizations team. So feel free to just reach out to me and let me know what club you're interested in, and I can do a quick e-introduction for you as well, or explain how to get in contact with clubs through Sun Devil Sync. But if you are having issues with the app, I would just encourage you to go directly to Sun Devil Sync and request to join there, because those kinks have all been figured out already. Again, like this has just been a new feature on the app for about, I don't know, like 2 weeks or so. So we just want to start getting the information out there. At the very least, getting people to start using it to search for clubs, but it's also just a really good resource to have for ASU resources in general. So does anyone have any questions about the ASU app while we're still talking about it?
Yeah, actually, I have a question. If I would like to see the map for the campus and check the classes, what is so far from each other or not, and how I can go through this directed to this class, and you know, this is tough because my advisor, he told me I have to take 5 courses in the fall semester, and actually I'm just wondering if I can put them all together in 2 days, and between each class it's only 15 minutes actually. And what I'm asking about, if it will be enough 15 minutes to get out from this class and go directly to the next class, and I won't be late actually. If it's possible or not.
CJ,
Sure.
oh, can I answer this one?
Go ahead. Yeah.
CJ dropped a link for the ASU map in the chat, and then there's also the map feature on the app, which I find really useful every time I have to find classes at the beginning of the semester. It also like routes you there on like a walking path. I think if you just go to the pull-up bar on the left side of the screen, the map will show up. And as far as having only 15 minutes in between classes, I think you're going to be okay if you're at downtown campus. I would say the only place that gets a little crazy is Tempe campus, and that's only if they're on opposite sides. But overall, on your first few days of class, everybody's chill about you coming in maybe a few minutes late if you couldn't find it, because everybody gets lost. It's a super normal thing. And then once you get the hang of it, it won't be that bad.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Got you.
CJ, did you want to add something?
I am actually a part of the Watts College, and I've taken courses on the downtown campus, and most of the classes are all in the center building in UCent, and then the other classes are in Arizona Center, and it's generally only a 5 to 7 minute walk from those two buildings, so you'll have plenty of time to get from place to place.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Any other comments or questions about the app? Cool. Stopping my screen share. And what do we want to move on to next? We want to do event planning. That's probably going to be the longest presentation for everyone. That sound good? CJ and
Can we do ABSO first?
Oh,
if
yeah.
that's okay.
Oh, that's okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will share my screen.
Awesome sauce. So we're just going to go into a little more information about who we are as the advisory board for student organizations, what we do, what we've done in the past, what we're planning on doing, just so you guys can all get to know us a little better and exactly what this board is.
So there are over 1,000 different clubs across all our different campuses. And so with so many different clubs, we have the advisory board to help us kind of bridge that gap between students that want to get more involved in ASU and student leaders that want to do more for their clubs and organizations.
This is a little picture of us at the last Passport to Spring Involvement Fair. I meant to Photoshop a DT in there, but I didn't have time. But she's there in spirit. That's the Dean of Students with us. We're very happy. Yeah. Just so you guys can feel like you actually see us. Our only picture is like a group too.
And then here's all our emails. If you would like to take a picture of it, you can. You can also reach us through our social media as well, and we can always send you our emails too. But here's all our different liaisons and then our clubs and our emails.
And then essentially we're just here to help students get involved or also oversee any like student leaders and whatever issues you guys may be having as another resource for you guys on campus. So I also dropped our social medias in here if you guys want to follow us for more information about future events, upcoming events. Our link tree always has our Sun Devil Sync in it and also the link to our virtual office hours. This QR code is also a link to our virtual office hours. Essentially from like all day on Mondays to Fridays, we're there ready to answer questions for you guys, talk to you maybe about getting involved. We can offer advice for club meetings and engagement strategies because a lot of us have had to go through the transition to digital involvement too. So if you're having trouble keeping up involvement or engagement or getting new people to show up to your meetings, all of us can offer advice about that. We can also help you with the ASU app and Sun Devil Sync because sometimes those things are a little more confusing, especially if you haven't used them before. And we are very seasoned at using them. So, and then just also info to get involved. If you guys aren't involved in like a student organization already, we are the people to go to. We'll tell you how to use Sun Devil Sync. We can offer you advice about which clubs might be best for you, help you find one. We're just sitting there ready to like walk through the process with you guys. So.
And I believe the Discord is also on our link tree. So if you guys like using Discord, you can talk to other students across different campuses and different organizations as well. And now, if you guys have any questions about ABSO and what we can do for you and how you can get involved, you can ask that now.
I just had one question. Do you guys have any other and I might have like asked you guys this in the past already, but do you guys have anything else besides Instagram or anything else that students can follow to stay updated?
Other than the Discord too, not really. The Discord's more for like asking questions if you guys have like a general question, and then our office hours are also the best way to reach us too.
Okay, awesome. Could one of you send a link to like the Discord in the chat by any chance?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
The Office of Student Orgs and Leadership has a Facebook and a Twitter account as well, and they have an Instagram page. Our Facebook page is Tempe Clubs. Our Twitter is also Tempe Clubs, and then our Instagram is Get Involved ASU right now. So we do a lot of like, that's more specific to like the actual professional department, whereas the advisory board is the actual student organization that we directly support. So we do post a lot of information there, but the advisory board usually like reflects a lot of the things that we post on our pages too.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
All
Great.
right, in which case we can talk about event and tabling guidelines if no one else wants to go.
Yep.
All right, in that case, I can share my screen. So this is just a little presentation going over the event and tabling guidelines for the remainder of this semester. There are a good couple of guidelines that come with that. Obviously, a lot of this has to do with COVID-19 compliance. And when it comes to university announcements and up-to-date information, the university does have a COVID-19 landing page where you can find all of that information. And kind of as said earlier, the information in this presentation is to help guide student and student organization engagement here at ASU throughout the remainder of this semester and the pandemic that is currently taking place during it.
Yeah, and with the virtual environment coming about, us as a university have tackled some of the challenges by operating on new social media systems, such as improving our Sun Devil Sync platform for clubs and student orgs, organizing Discord chat, especially for the ABSO board. That's something that we're looking to utilize a lot more. And then building on ASU's relationships with Zoom and Slack and having individual ASU designed channels in those. So if you go into Slack, you can join the ASU community without even being a part of a student organization specifically, just to get up-to-date information with everything going on at ASU.
Yeah, and additionally, these are all just really great ways to engage with your student organizations virtually, because obviously in-person events are discouraged. We'll touch on that more in the later parts of this presentation. But for now, virtual engagement is one of the primary ways with which student organizations can engage and can continue functioning right now. So talking about hosting in-person on-campus events and meetings, the maximum attendance is 50 persons or fewer, with the emphasis really here on fewer than 50 people in this case. Depending on the location and venue, obviously that is subject to change. A lot of things are subject to change right now, since there are a lot of uncertainties going around. Rooms in space are first come, first served, and should be reserved as early as possible, generally 30 days before the event, just so we can sort out any logistics that comes with that. And the requester's first choice of room, space, time, date, none of it's guaranteed, which is also why you want to try to get those requests in as soon as possible. So that way, if you don't get that first choice, you can coordinate with student orgs about finding another location. In order to reserve space on campus, clubs and student orgs need to submit a special event registry form, essentially just submitting the necessary paperwork with which to throw an event. And finally, student organizations must use the Sun Devil Sync platform to maintain a roster of attendees, and students have to use the event pass that we previously went over for this roster requirement. So essentially, just so we can know who's attended your event, who is at your event, and really kind of having that information just in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah, so along with all those apps that we said ASU has began using, and especially expanding on Sun Devil Sync, this new app that we've started using, Campus Labs Event Check-in, is a great way to organize and scan in attendees of your event while being able to refrain from touching or having physical contact with each other. So if you go to events on your Sun Devil Sync page, and then you move over and follow all the steps as it is posted up on here. You get your event code, and then when you download the Campus Labs Event Check-in app, available on Android and iPhone, and then you type in that code into your event, and then students and members of ASU's community attending your events can pull up their event pass on Sun Devil Sync, and you can scan their event pass right from your phone, and then they're free to roam around and hang out at your event. It's quick and easy. We used it for our in-person involvement fair we had in January, and it was super quick and super useful, and it made our lives a lot easier. So definitely recommend utilizing that. And then this is the event pass that I was talking about. So if you go to sundevilsync.asu.edu and you sign into your ASU account, you click on your profile photo or the first initial of your name. And then right at the top there, it says event pass, and that's what you would scan. You can also add it to your Apple Wallet or Google Wallet, which makes it very quick and easy to access for the future. I have it in my wallet. A lot of the people who attend the involvement fair download onto their wallet, because as we start doing more and more in-person events, that event pass is going to be required to check in for a lot of it. And it's just going to be quick and easy to pull up and scan in and enjoy the event as quick as possible.
Yeah, and so we've talked a bit about in-person events, but we haven't really talked a lot about outdoor events. And so obviously there is a difference between hosting events inside and outside. It was the case pre-pandemic. It's also the case during the pandemic. So to start, tables and chairs will be cleaned and sanitized by ASU staff before checkout and after check-in. So really, you don't necessarily need to worry about sanitizing once you get it, but during the event, you will be responsible for sanitation. Pre-packaged food and candies are permitted at outdoor tabling events now. That's kind of a new update to our guidelines. Kind of like we said earlier, a lot of things are subject to change. So that's exciting. You guys can start handing things like that out at tabling events now. Tables should still have no more than 2 organization members at a time. Just another safety precaution, and those members should also practice appropriate physical distancing, so staying 6 feet away from each other. And additional members are actually allowed to help set up and tear down, and they can additionally help so long as they keep that physical distance of more than 6 feet. And additionally, just some health and safety protocols that come with that. Face coverings and physical distancing are required. No, really there's nothing else that comes with that. They're required, they're necessary. Single layered neck fleece covers, gaiters. So I think they're like the bandana sort of things. Those don't count, and coverings with valves also do not count, since those are not safe face coverings. Hand sanitizer and sanitizing wipes are encouraged. Obviously, you want to make sure that any bacteria or potential viruses that touch your table die as soon as possible. And so really taking care to ensure that through sanitization is just good advice. A primary or secondary advisor must be present at any in-person events or meetings, just so that way there's some sort of supervision. Make sure to remind attendees of applicable guidelines before attending an event or meeting, just so that way everyone knows the most relevant and most recent information and is able to act accordingly. Again, you have to use Sun Devil Sync to maintain a roster of attendees. That's just incredibly important. And a big reason of that is to facilitate our response to environmental management requests. So we will get requests like that, and knowing how many people are at an event, how big an event might be, really does help with our response to that. Obviously, stay home if sick. If you're feeling sick in any way, really, better to play it safe than sorry. You don't want to expose your fellow club members to anything that might harm them as well. And then finally, if any attendees become aware that they've been exposed to COVID-19, do email the Dean of Students as soon as possible. And then
for events or meetings with people more than 50 participants, you have to get approval from ASU itself. So approval for events or meetings related to student services or student organizations must be provided by the Senior Vice President of Educational Outreach and Student Services. If that is the case, if you or your club wants to host an event with 50+ participants, reach out to any of us board members, reach out to Tessie Bracken, reach out to tempeclubs@asu.edu, I believe is the email, and we will get back to you. We will help you guys figure out the process of getting this event pre-approved. I would recommend to reach out at least 2 months, if not more, in advance. This takes a lot of the time to get approval, and you have to have a solid structured plan on what your event's going to look like to mitigate spread and social contact while at this event if you want 50+ people. And if you guys have ever any questions about anything that was said during this presentation, please reach out. Information is always changing, and we have the links that we have posted in this and in the chat. But if you're watching after the fact on YouTube or anything and you need help, feel free to reach out to us in our office hours on Instagram, because everything is ever changing in this environment, and it's going to continue that way until even past herd immunity, the vaccine being distributed. It's going to take a while for us to figure out everything. So if you please reach out and ask questions.
Yeah, thank you
And
guys
there's
very
the
much.
emails.
Those are the contact information for the different student organization departments at each campus. It's pretty self-explanatory: Tempe West, Downtown, Polytechnic, clubs at asu.edu. So definitely reach out to whichever organization fits your campus, and they'll be able to answer a majority of questions that you might have. And yeah, that's the end of the presentation. Thank you guys very much.
Something I'd just like to add real quick about the event planning. Myself and this group is experienced in planning some of these events right now during the COVID pandemic. So if you have questions and you want to actually talk to some people who have experienced the process, that's why we're just encouraging you to reach out to us. If you've attended any of the involvement fairs earlier this semester, that was myself and this crew. So we are working on revamping some of our safety protocols for those events even, but we were able to come up with some plans to make sure that they did get approved the proper way through the university channels. So we're always happy to have a consultation with you or just chat about it. Don't hesitate to reach out. But does anyone have any questions about anything that you just saw about event planning? Cool. Joey, I think it's
actually, I have a question, JC. Oh, sorry, Tessie. The question is, if I would like to check out these events and what is interesting about, like public speaking, or maybe I would like to get practice for myself, and just feel free to open any subject and talk about, let's say about management or about the mathematics or like that, how I can find out these clubs. And the other question is, if I would like to check the rate of each professor that I would like to take this subject with him, or maybe I would like to find another professor and go through with this class with him.
Sure. So I think I mentioned this earlier. On sundevilsync.asu.edu, the Sun Devil Sync involvement platform, you can search clubs by keyword. So I would just encourage you, if you're looking for like public speaking opportunities or like business and management and so on and so forth, to go into that search bar for organizations and just type in the keyword that you're looking for, and you might find some events or clubs through that. The best way to find people to take classes with would just be to get involved in an organization and start talking to people. I think like I haven't been a student in a while, but from what I've heard, like your first year, you're probably going to have some limited class decisions just based off of like the fact that seniors and upperclassmen have already selected these courses. So you're probably going to be more in classes with other first years. but that doesn't mean like you can't reach out and talk to some people who have maybe taken the course before or have interest in the same classes or the same major as you, because they might have some great insight on what to just learn or expect in a class. So like I said, like the best way is just to like reach out to student organizations and start contacting the top officers and seeing if they'd be willing to chat with you about this. I know CJ just mentioned that he's a member of the Watts College. He'd probably be willing to chat with you about this too and maybe provide some insight. So maybe CJ is a great place to start with that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course. And if I didn't fully answer your question, feel free to reach out to me sometime and we can certainly chat offline too about this. Cool.
Yeah, sure, because I have a lot of questions about the campus and about more stuff about the subjects. So I'm just a little bit weird and, you know, confused about these subjects. So that's why I'd like to ask about it. Thank you.
Of course. Joey?
Okay, awesome, sweet. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen. And so first things first is, can you guys see that okay? The flyer? Yes, excellent.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So this year we have this fun little thing called Explore ASU that Tessie's kind of spearheading for the sake of a lot of freshmen who are new to campus, including myself, are not familiar with campus at all because it's COVID. And so basically Explore ASU is encouraging kids to do all these different things that are campus monuments. And so as you can see on here, we've got a couple of different options. We have some that you can RSVP a tour for. You have some that we can do on your own, like Palm Walk and Hayden Library. A lot of people have already probably gone there. And then there are also virtual opportunities that you have access to. And so essentially what you want to do is if you are looking to RSVP or schedule a tour for any of these, so it's going to be the Sun Devil Stadium, the Gamage, which is our playhouse, like the Student Pavilion, which is right next to the MU itself, and then like SDFC and the archives. What you're going to do is you're going to go onto Sun Devil Sync, and you should be able to reserve a spot in order to do so. For example, a few weeks ago, Tessie took me to go to the stadium, and it was super, super cool. It was so much fun. We got to go downstairs, check out the field. We got to see all like the boxes, and it's just this gorgeous stadium. We are out of this world lucky to go to this school. And so I totally recommend doing that, especially getting some of your friends or some of your club mates to do that. This sort of thing is a great thing to do for a bonding activity. And so basically from there, does anyone have any questions for us about Go Explore?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this like a project you guys are still like working on making like real, or is it something that's going on right now already?
So this is, sorry, Tessie, go ahead. So this is going on right now. We kind of did like a trial run with our tour last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? And so now things are live and open in Sun Devil Sync. So you can sign up if you want.
And the list is evolving. So right now, the goal of this is to have it be evergreen. So like we want, right now, the flyer says, Go Explore ASU Class of 2024, because we're trying to target first year residential students right now, but that's going to keep changing as the years pass. And like, for example, like the ASU Gamage tour, like we have that scheduled where you could do like virtual tech tours. The reason why we have that as like schedule a tour is because you do have to reach out to them separately and schedule a tour, and you can do that through Sun Devil Sync. But we're working with them to have some in-person tours of backstage, like since you're not able to actually attend any Gamut shows right now. So we're just trying to create some of these opportunities for the students that really haven't had a chance to see ASU at all. So like if you're new, I know like when I was a graduate student here, like everyone told me you have to go find the secret garden and you have to go find the secret garden on your own. People can't really tell you. So I'm not really sure if like I made a point whenever we made this graphic not to have a map to take you to the secret garden. It just has a link that'll kind of explain what it is. So I am going to encourage like everyone, if you haven't searched for that yet, to go find that kind of stuff on your own. Like that's just kind of like fun little things to go do while you're there. It's more just kind of like everything's pretty much on your own time with this project. But if there are any other opportunities that like students can think of that might be a good fit for this list, or if there's something that you don't think seems really relevant anymore, like I'm totally open to hearing what people have to say and adjusting the list as well.
Do you think you could send a link of this list in the chat?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me do that right now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, or should I keep sharing it? Yeah,
you're good.
Sweet. I'm going to send a link right now in the chat. So in the meantime, does anyone else have any questions? No? Okay, well, then we're good. That's all I have to say.
Cool. So we still have some time right now. Does anyone have any just more general questions about different campus resources for getting involved on campus, or anything that they'd just like to mention right now?
I just want to say that I didn't know Explore ASU was a thing. So that's one thing I learned today, which was pretty cool. All of the other stuff I kind of like figured you guys would be going over, which is super awesome. And like your guys' presentations were really good as well. So yeah, I just want to say like thank you guys for all of like the work you guys are doing. It's pretty cool, and I learned a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Madeline. The Explore ASU was a project that Joey initiated with Tessie, because Joey is a freshman and missed out on a lot of the experiences that I at least got as a freshman at ASU 4 years ago. And when the extensive list was put out for the first time, I was super impressed. I'm glad you're as well, because that's one of my favorite things that our board has been able to do so far. So shout out to Joey and Tessie for that.
Does anyone else on the board have anything that, like any tips for involvement or anything along those lines?
Don't be afraid to reach out. I had someone text me today about some of the clubs that I'm a part of. And he got my information from Sun Devil Sync and texted me. And I love that. I did not mind receiving a text message at all. Always looking for new people who want to join. So if you find a club that you're really interested in, can't find, send them a message, email them, text them. They want to recruit you. They want new members in their clubs. That's what they're there for. So do not be afraid to ever reach out to anyone at ASU.
Actually, I'm a little bit sometimes afraid about that, because I so many people from United States of America, they are really don't like to talk to the stranger people, or because they are new people. So sometimes I have a lot of questions about about how the living in this state, and how much that costs, and what should I do, and what can I do once I arrive to there. And sometimes these people are like say, "What? We don't know you, so why we should talk to you?" So sometimes I just get a little bit afraid to reach out these people or send them an email, and they just figure out, oh, I don't know this guy, so why I should respond with him? So could you please give me some advice about these things so it will be might help me in the future?
So Ali, that's a really, really good point that you bring up because it's true. Americans tend to be kind of mean. We can be kind of mean, but I think especially in this setting, when you're reaching out for clubs in specific, one of the sole purposes of clubs is to get people to join, is for recruitment. And so if you're reaching out to anybody, clubs, you're probably going to get the most positive response from, because they are looking for more people, and they shouldn't be as rude. If they are, then you can let someone know, because that's pretty messed up. But this is, for the most part, especially with student organizations, the more new people, the better. And so you shouldn't be addressed with any sort of hostility from any of the clubs that you're interested in joining. And I'm so sorry that that's happening to you, because that's tough.
And yeah, because yesterday I went through one of these events and the host, he just removed me without any reason. She said, oh, this guy, his name, okay, Ali, who's this guy? Oh, just a second, people, I will remove him. Why is that? Because I'm a new student. Maybe I just want to get some experience about the living, about the campuses, about the some public questions about these things. So why you are ignoring me? I did not do anything about this. So that's why one of these people, he come through the email and he just chat with me, and he told me, we are people, we don't like to talk to the strangers. So I'm really sorry about what really happened to you. So it's okay. Maybe you can go through another event, So it's okay, no problem.
Something I want to just mention right now, especially just hearing like some of the experiences that you're having. This board, like we do have a group of 6 right now, but we are working on opening it up to some general membership opportunities. So Ali, I saw that you had joined the Sun Devil Sync page already. So you're on our email list, and you're going to be able to see like any events that we have planned and stuff like that through this advisory board. Though we are a little bit more Tempe focused, we do try to focus on all engagement opportunities on all campus locations. So keep your eyes open. Like if you want to get involved with us, we're going to have some opportunities coming up here soon.
Sure, and I'm really happy to enjoy you today. Thank you so much for this event. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else have any last advice or last minute thoughts?
Hi, I have a question.
Sure.
So I think like before you mentioned something about how I could contact former students who took the same course. And I was wondering how I could do that.
Contacting students from like classes, you mean, like who have maybe taken classes that you're interested in taking?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. So I don't really have like advice on how to do that. CJ, you want to speak up?
So there is an ASU Reddit forum. And if you find that ASU Reddit forum, after I finish talking, I'm gonna try and pull that up as quick as possible. They have a subsection in the ASU Reddit for classes. So you can go on there, you can look at what classes people recommend, what classes people don't recommend, what professors. It's kind of like an encompassing way that students have the free will to write about the classes in whatever capacity they want on the Reddit forum. So if you're looking for like class recommendations and that kind of stuff, definitely look at that. I will try and find that really quickly. If that answered your question, great. If there's another portion of that, I'd like to touch on that again. or on it more?
No, I think that was enough. Thank you, Chris.
Okay, cool. I will try and find that really quickly.
Some advice I would just throw out there is that if you're not sure what kind of clubs you're interested in because, or I don't know, you want to try 100 different things, I say go for it. Try as many things as you can. Go to as many club meetings as you can. Meet as many people as you can. It's the best way to figure out where you feel most comfortable, where you feel like you're most involved. And it's what I did when I first started getting involved at ASU. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As far as the Reddit goes, I did not know that was a thing, and I will be looking through that for the rest of the night tonight.
Awesome. Well, this recording is, or we are recording this, so we're going to post this, like Sarah mentioned in the chat, we're going to post this on our student engagement YouTube page. I'll share it out in all of our student organization newsletters. I think whenever we have it posted on the YouTube, the advisory board will start sharing it on their social media channels. And so will just the Tempe Club's office too. So keep your eyes open for that. Feel free to share that out with anyone who you think might benefit from this information. Feel free to send anyone our way if they have questions, or if you're chatting with them about stuff that you learned today and you might feel like they might need to chat with someone that knows a little bit more about these different resources, feel free to just share our contact information. We're always happy to get involved and chat with new people.